They stood at a crossroads, where each path seemed to lead to an uncertain and dangerous destiny. Pedro, looking at Sofia, found himself in an internal struggle. As much as his love and affection for her grew inside him, he could not ignore the past, the history of betrayals and rivalries that involved their families. Everything seemed to be interconnected in a way he didn't know how to deal with. How could he fully trust Sofia, a woman who was so linked to the greatest enemy of his family? He felt a genuine love for her that could not be denied, but there was a constant shadow hovering over everything they shared. On the other hand, there was his family. Since he was a child, Pedro had been taught to protect his lineage, to uphold traditions, and to be loyal to them. The concept of loyalty was deeply ingrained in him, and it made him question whether he should put love above everything his family represented. His father, whom he had always idolized, was involved in a power game he never imagined. The pain of seeing his family mixed up in something so dark was hard to digest. But on the other hand, he felt that, deep down, the loyalty he had always had to his family should be preserved. Meanwhile, Sofia was completely lost in her own thoughts. The weight of what she had discovered about her family was consuming her. Her love for Pedro, the man who made her feel safe, was real. But the weight of her family's past seemed to always loom over her, like a shadow she couldn't shake off. She knew her father had been involved in something much bigger than she had imagined, but she also knew that she didn't want to be a puppet in his game of revenge anymore. Her deepest desire was to free herself from that web that had trapped her since birth. But there was a truth Sofia could not deny. She felt something for Pedro that went beyond any family or political commitment. He was her only way out, her only chance to rewrite her own story. But she knew he might not understand, or worse, he might distance himself from her. Sofia was terrified of losing Pedro. She knew that, as strong as their love was, it could become irreversible if he wasn't able to forgive her, if he couldn't understand that she was willing to change, to leave everything behind and start a new life with him. The silence between them was heavy, as if the air was charged with unspoken questions and unmade choices. Pedro looked into Sofia's eyes, and for the first time, he was sure of one thing. He couldn't live with uncertainty. He needed to make a decision, and he needed to make it now.